Hey everyone, this is Long. Today I received my Stax SR-X9000, which is the new flagship headphones from Stax Japan. It's right here behind me and we're going to be unboxing it together. Alright, let's do it! So to give you some background, I'm just a regular guy who enjoys headphones, especially high-end headphones. I've had my Stax 007s for about 3.5 years now, so this is my first headphone purchase, since that time. And the Stax 007s are the only headphones that I actually own. They're actually my favorite headphones of all time. I've listened to all sorts of different headphone systems, including the Sennheiser HE1s, along with the Sennheiser HE90s. I've listened to a lot of high-end headphones, and I found that the Stax 007, the MK1 version, are my favorite headphones. So, this is a pretty significant upgrade for me. These SR-9000s, or SR-X9000s, are 3 times the cost of my SR-007s. I also bought my SR-007 Mark 1s brand new, so this is going to be my second brand new Stax headphone purchase. You can see here, it just comes in a black box. So I'll bring up the box right here. So it's the SR-X9000 electrostatic ear speaker. Here is the Stax logo along with their description of their company, which they've been making headphone products since 1938. So we'll go ahead and open it. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. I'm not a headphone reviewer or anything, so excuse me if I don't have very good production value. I'm just a regular dude. So here we go. Let's open up this plastic bag. So the thing with these new Stax SR-X9000s is that they have a detachable cable, which is different than most of their other flagships. Pretty much all of the other Stax flagship headphones do not have a detachable cable. And in the past, for example, the 007s, people had issues with the cable, especially the cable connectors failing. So in that situation, there was no real remedy other than to have a professional try to fix the cable by soldering the cable. And so these have detachable cables. And so here we go. We'll break the seal here. All right, so we'll open it. Okay, so inside there's another plastic bag which houses the wooden box that holds the actual ear speaker. So we'll pull it out. Okay. So you have another plastic bag with a gold, kind of a gold logo of the actual headphone name. So we'll go ahead and open this plastic bag as well. There we go. All right. So we'll slide out this wooden box to reveal the prize. All right, so there we go. Throw this plastic bag aside. Oops. Plastic bags fell down. All right. Okay, so here it is. Let's see how to open it. Okay, so it just opens by pulling it out like this. So the actual wooden box is kind of lightweight. It almost feels like balsa wood. The lid is very lightweight. I think it's made of some special kind of wood that is humidity resistant. Since electrostatic headphones are very sensitive to humidity, so the storage box is made so that it's dry as possible. So we'll go ahead and remove this part. Okay, and there you have it. This is the Stax SR-X9000. Again, the cables are not attached to it because Stax provides these two cables here. They're different lengths. I think this cable down here is 1.5 meters, and this one on top here is 2.5 meters, depending on whether or not you want your headphones close by or you need a longer distance to your amplifier. So there you have it. This is the headphone. First impressions of the build and the aesthetics of it. It looks and feels very it actually feels very durable. It's made of all metal. I think the only plastic part is actually this part up here, which is the grip for the headband adjustment. And so you can see, I can kind of show you the inside of the drivers here. Overall, the headphones are made pretty much 99% made of metal, and there's only a little bit of plastic up here. So that's the headphone, and next up we'll start talking about some of my first sound impressions of this headphone compared to the Stax 007 Mark 1s, and I'll make another short video of my initial impressions of this headphone. Thanks for listening, and I'm gonna be attaching some of these cables right now, and I'm gonna be listening to them for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then I'll give you my first impressions of the headphone. I'll probably listen to a variety of different songs, from classical to pop and rap and whatnot. I like all sorts of music, so we'll see how these headphones perform. So here are some shots of the headphone after the cables were attached. The cables were pretty easy to attach. They were, they just provided a little bit of resistance when you attach them, but overall they seem pretty secure. And you can see the huge drivers in there. Overall, the headphone weight feels a little bit lighter actually than my Stax 007s, but that's just basically me holding it. It might be very similar in weight, but overall it actually feels lighter. And here's a close-up of the headband adjustment mechanism, and you can see above the headband adjustment mechanism there is the right and left designations for the headphones. I think that's the only place where you can actually see the right and left for the headphones. Hey everyone, so I just spent about 20 minutes listening to the SR-X9000s. I listened to various music genres, including classical, classic rock, and also some pop songs. And I have to say, this might be surprising to you, but it's really not surprising to me at all, which is that I actually prefer my SR-007 Mark 1s over these new flagships. And, it might be a little bit disappointing to, kind of come to that conclusion after 20 minutes, since these new flagships are actually 3 times the price of my SR-007s. But and then again, like, this is just my initial listening impressions. But what I'm finding with the SR-X9000s is that they sound great. Like, the whole spectrum of the sound is there's nothing in the spectrum that actually bothers me. Everything is well represented. But the thing that I find kind of unsatisfying about the SR-X9000s is that the sound is very polite. It's like, it's not, to me, it's just like, for example, my SR-007s, when I play music, it sounds like the musicians are playing the music for me, and it feels very intimate. Like, I feel like I'm in a small room with the musicians, and everything feels more musical. I mean, that's basically what it is. And the SR-X9000s, it just feels like the music is there. Like, there's music there, but for some reason, I just, it's not the same level of connection that I have when I listen to the SR-007 Mark 1s. And I mentioned that I mentioned mine as the SR-007 Mark 1s because I have listened to the Mark 2s, and I really don't like the Mark 2s either. To repeat again, like, this is just my initial impression after listening to the SR-X9000s. I mean, my ears today might be not in the mood for music, or there might be something wrong with the way that I'm just my listening today for some reason. So this is just something that will be evolving over time, and hopefully I'll find that the SR-X9000s are more suited to my listening tastes. So to give you some perspective, I'm listening to my headphones through the Kevin Gilmore solid state amp, and this is the high voltage version. So I actually have the 500 volt off-board version of the KGSS-HV, which is it has a higher voltage swing. So I find that this 500 voltage version is more suited, more synergistic with my SR-007 Mark 1s, which are notoriously hard to drive. In terms of the amplifier requirements of the SR-X9000, I find that it's on a similar level, maybe a little bit less difficult to drive versus my SR-007s. The thing with the SR-X9000s is that you can listen to them at a very, very high volume and not be annoyed by any part of the spectrum, because nothing, like, for example, vocals or anything like that, there's no annoying, there's no like hiss, there's no like sibilance. So the SR-X9000 does have that quality to it where it kind of sounds very easy to listen to. So like it's a very relaxing sound signature where nothing in the spectrum stands out really. Like, nothing annoys you, and nothing really like wows you in terms of my opinion. So so I mean, it's a little bit disappointing for me, but that's just the way that I kind of my experience in headphones over the years. Like, I've listened to the SR-007 Mark 1s, my SR-007 Mark 1s for 3.5 years now, and I absolutely love them. Like, every time I listen to my SR-007 Mark 1s, like, my mind is blown, like, every single time, ever since the first day I got them. And to me, they're the most special headphone that I've ever listened to. So I wasn't really expecting the SR-X9000s to beat that, but it'll take me another few days to actually sync into the new sound signature of the SR-X9000s, and I'll update you guys on my impressions over the next few days. Alright, well, thanks for listening in, and hope you enjoyed my initial impressions of the SR-X9000s. I also forgot to mention that I use an SMSL M500 USB DAC for my source, and I play songs off of Amazon Music HD off my MacBook, and my MacBook is connected to my DAC, and my DAC is connected to my amplifier through the balanced XLR output. So if you guys were wondering what my source is, there it is. Thank you.